Hello everybody and welcome back to Cities Skylines, where we've got our traffic mostly under control at this point. I'm still slightly concerned about what's going on here, but we'll keep an eye on that. We do have some abandoned structures over here in our industrial district, which is not in the slightest surprising. There is currently a lack of raw materials over here, which means that this cargo airport and this cargo train terminal over here are no longer cutting it, unfortunately, for imports. Which is a little strange to me, because this isn't being fully utilized. Ah. That would do it. For sure. So what's going on here? Well, we're currently parked here, because we're trying to head out this direction. And we're parked here as we're heading north. Let's check underground here. Okay. And interesting. So we're parked all the way up this way as we're attempting to exit, it would appear. All the way up to here, and then it goes over this direction. So this is a huge amount of our problem. We don't have any train access, effectively. Okay. So, what do we want to do about this? Well, first off, we can definitely put in a little bit of a fork here that goes up this direction and connects in, say, up here. We're going to need to bring it in like this, and then curve it in something along the lines of... There was a spot there. Ah, that's not connected. Okay, that slope too steep. Yeah, and that's just not connected at all there. Oh, because this goes underground up here. That's right. That's right. So we'll connect it up there. Now, we definitely need to solve the situation over here. And this situation is, I want to check directionality. Are these all attempting to leave? No. No, they are not, actually. So the reason that this is happening here is, in fact, because this train is trying to go this way, and this train is trying to go this way, right? If we eliminate that train, can we enforce directionality on these tracks? That's something that would be very helpful. Let's see what we can do here. This doesn't seem to do anything. The lane arrows, anyway. Junction restrictions. No, nothing to be done there. It doesn't look like we can enforce directionality restrictions. But let's check here. This train's trying to come this direction. So, why are they doing this, is the question. That is the question that needs to be answered here for sure. Because this is 1,000,000% the problem. So that train can now move forward, but it gets stopped here. So, why do we have trains that are inbound and trains that are outbound on the same track? That actually is definitely 100% of the problem here. Like 1,000,000% of the problem here. So if we look here, this train is trying to go inbound over here. If we remove that, then we run into this. Okay, I believe these trains are both trying to go this direction. So that gives us our jam here. I'm going to rework this, and I'm going to make these one way. So let's take that out of there. And let's say if you want to come this direction, you're coming down like this. If you want to go this direction, you're coming up like this. If you want to come over here, it's going to be... Well, actually, I need to think about this. I would like to pull this back a little bit, for sure. And let me think here. We can do this, for sure. But that creates an issue, right? Yeah, it definitely does. And that issue is that this needs to be turned around up here. Like this. Except does it? I think it needs to go this way, and then this one gets turned like that. Let's see what ends up happening here. We're going to have some despawns. That train despawns. We're starting to move here. We've definitely got some despawns going. I also want to change these over here. I want to make this incoming only. And I want to make this outgoing only. But I also want to create a quick branch that comes off over here, ideally, and connects in, like, over here. Something like this, that is outgoing only. This is not pretty. We're just trying to clear up this jam for right now. Okay. Now, as far as this up here goes, this is going to be interesting to try to clear, for sure. We need to go underground here and take a look at what we've got. So it looks like outbound over here is fine. It is inbound that is currently struggling. And why is that? It looks like it's going to start moving in a moment. Okay, I think that's going to be fine. So we need to try to clear up this backlog as much as we can. Why are you not moving? Same with you. I'm going to get rid of this train and see if that starts this moving. We're definitely seeing despawns over here. That's okay. Okay, I think we may be moving now. This junction is still likely to be an issue, as is this for a while. Let's check underground here and see what's going on here. We have outbound moving along fine, which makes me think that inbound... this train station is continually spawning. And they're not entering the second track here. That's the core issue, is that we're exporting a lot here. Yeah, it's just instantly spawning. So why isn't the second track being utilized? I'm guessing because it's meant to be used going this way. Right? That's my theory. That said, this should eventually clear up, I think. So we'll let that run for a moment, and let's see. Yeah, that's causing this jam here. We need these trains to come on out and make their way through here. This is a potential issue here. I think we need to eliminate this train, except I kind of don't want to. It's got a lot of cargo on it. But I think we have to, because this was changed to a singular track. Is there no actual connection here? I think there's no actual connection here. So what we're going to need to do then is modify this a little bit more, and we'll have it come out... Man, that's sharp. That is a very sharp angle. Maybe if it comes out over here? I feel like that's way too sharp still. Way, way too sharp still. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to alter this. We're going to have the main track come out over this way. That's apparently space already occupied. Interesting. What if we take it in like this? Space already occupied. Oh, of course, I'm a moron. This is metro track. This is not train track. Okay, so we take this out like so, and we're going to curve it like that, and then bring it back. How do we want to do this? I actually want this to go underground here. And we're going to need this to go underground. Actually, what we need is for this to connect in above ground up here. Like so. And then splits off over this way and goes underground. and then comes over here and goes deeper underground to avoid the metro tunnel, and then comes around this way and comes up, and then comes to the surface and merges in here. So we'll have it run kind of parallel, and then it'll merge in like that. Okay, this train will have to be eliminated temporarily. There we go. So now there's a reasonable way for it to merge back in to outgoing. Excellent. And realistically, this being a bidirectional train track, what I would really like to see here is a unidirectional set of train tracks with 2 tracks. That's what I'd really like to see here. Well, this is a little awkward, but we'll do that for now. There's only the one way that it can come in, right? It can't go back this way, so that should, in theory, be okay. Are you going to head out this direction? No, not currently. So that's continuing this jam here. So, let's think about this. If it comes out this direction, this is the outbound from this train terminal. Where can it go? It can go back out of the city, and that's this connection here. It can go over this direction, or it can go north. No other options. So, what if we take this out, take this out, we take this underground, and this would end up connecting in underground, up over here, like that. Then, we'd have another segment that goes deeper underground, would come over here, and its goal would be to connect in somewhere over here. Perhaps along the lines of... Well, we're going to need to bring this up to the surface. Perhaps along the lines of that. Okay, really awkward with these trains. But now we have a way for it to connect in over here and to go north and to go out of the city over this way. So that, of course, means that this section of rail is now unrequired, which means that this is only a rail crossroads now. And the question is, can we eliminate this crossroads? Well, let's see what that ends up doing, shall we? Yeah, we're just permanently spawning trains here right now. And this is honestly fairly expected at this point, I think. We don't have any trains up here currently. And let's take a look at that. What's going on there? We just simply have no trains going up this way. Okay, and that is because, I believe, of this, actually. This angle is not good. So we're going to need to redo this angle. That's okay. Let's go ahead and do that. And this is going to need to come off over this way and go like that. This angle does not connect at all, and that's a problem. That'll need to come in. Honestly, I'm going to do that over here. Do these connect up? It connects up this way, but not up top. So we're going to need to remove that. And we'll have that connect in, say, over here. Like that. Okay. So we're going to need to have these trains clean up a bit. There is some movement happening here. This junction is something that I want to think about eliminating, though. So first off, we need to think, where could these go? I don't think they could make this turn as is. So if they're planning to come this way and go this way, what would be the point of that? This just goes outside of the city unless they're trying to go up here, I suppose. But if they're going to do that, then they should come up this direction and go up like that. So this doesn't need to connect this way. Unless it's coming in to go here, but that's a really awkward connection, and if so, it can come up like this. and connect in. So this is mostly trying to go north or perhaps over this way. So let's go ahead and build in a set of tracks over here that connect in like this, or kind of like this. I don't really like this corner that it's creating here, so we'll have it come in more along the lines of that, and that will connect like that. That's one way to go this way. Excellent. And then we'll also have it branch off and go underground. Can we get underground here in time? No. Okay. So we'll come back above ground, and we'll have it branch off over here to go underground. And we're going to need to go double underground. That's okay. And then we're going to need to merge this in. We're going to have to go triple underground, actually. I don't like this angle. We're going to have to go triple underground here. And bring it up over this way. And then bring it on in about like that to go north. Okay. I don't really like this merge in at all. I'm going to actually take this underground. And we are going to instead have this go underground over here. I'm surprised this actually works. I'd like to take it further underground. No, this isn't actually going to work. How do we want to do this? Just have it branch off here, perhaps? Like that. And then this will also go underground. And I want it to connect in up here. So we're going to need some space for that. Is this going back above ground? No, that went underground. But let's pull this back a little bit so we have a little more space to work with. This, of course, is underground here in theory. This isn't connected. It would help if it was connected. Okay, so we're going to take this underground like so. Take this across over this way. And then bring it above ground up over here somewhere. Yeah, there's not much space here, in all honesty. We need to change the angle of attack here. So we'll take it like this, like this, and then bring it up like that. I think that actually works. I think that actually works. Okay, and that of course means that this section of track here is unnecessary. So it would be like that. And let's see how that ends up flowing. That's quite different. There's a lot of changes made there. And that should make things more efficient, if not prettier. They're not going to be prettier. There's no doubt about that. We're able to move in this train up here. Let's check up here and see if we're still perma-spawning these.
Coffee, fuel of the modern economy. The age-old Italian.
Yeah, we're still perma-spawning these. So I think that this means that we need another station up here. And that's okay, we can definitely put one in. So where do we want to put a cargo station in up here? We've already got one here, it's barely utilized. We've got one here that is overutilized. So I'm actually thinking that maybe it should go somewhere in this vicinity. But we don't have a lot of room over here. I'm gonna think about that, for sure.
Due to recent court actions, we are required to warn against the drinking of hot coffee.
I'm definitely going to think about where we want this.
You're listening to Cities Radio, the best music from around the globe.
But let's check in down over here. Yeah, this appears to be flowing quite nicely now. Now we've still got a bit of a jam over here. A fair amount of trains despawned, I feel like, but we've got one building up here. And the question is, what's going on with this one? What indeed? Do we have trains trying to, like, trains at opposing directions here? I think that this is actually just cleaning up. It just needed a little time. Okay. It looks like that's all completely fine then. Excellent. Now, we're continually having backup here. We're having some over this way as well. I do think this is endemic that we don't have enough cargo train terminals. I am going to think about putting one in over here. I feel like it would not be a terrible location for one. So perhaps there? And then we can link that in pretty easily to our existing system by doing this and doing this. Now, this connection here doesn't exist, and that's a problem. So we're going to have to rework this, of course. And I'm going to want to change this angle. So we're going to need to bend that in kind of like that. And then this would need to come out this direction, like so. And then we would also have this coming up this way, but that's a terrible angle. That is an absolutely awful angle. Could we get away with that? Yes, actually, it looks like we could. I'm not necessarily okay with this. There is another option. But this down here is okay, so that's good. Now, that's only going to be going this direction. There should obviously be a way to merge in like that as well. Can we just bring it up like this? Does that work? No. That angle is too steep? Okay. What if we just did it somewhere up this way? Or we could make it a little bit messier. I mean, we've got a lot of mess anyway, so that's fine. Bring it up kind of like this, and bring it in kind of like that. There we go. Okay, so with this coming online, that should relieve some of the pressure on this station, ideally. That doesn't solve this situation. Are we still perma-spawning here? Yes, we are. Okay. I would really, really like to have some control over this, like have this be only this inner one. That would be nice. But yeah, we clearly need an additional station up here. So let's think about where we want that to go. We could just extend a road out somewhere. Or perhaps place it over here? This could work. Except that this road isn't upgraded. And I would definitely want this road to be upgraded if we're going to place it over here. No doubt about that. So this crematorium would have to be moved. And we'd need to upgrade this road. Which we can do like so. We're going to have a small issue with this underground metro station. I'm going to place it over here temporarily. And we'll upgrade this, although the elementary school also needs to be relocated. That's fine. We can do that. Then we can upgrade that like so. Okay. Now I'm going to move the elementary school back. And I'm going to move the underground metro station back as well. We're going to need to get a little bit of space here. And we'll put it in there. We are, of course, going to need to build metro tracks to connect this in. And I think that we'll be okay just doing that. And then we'll see about redoing these. Fantastic. Okay, all good. All good. So now we're going to build our cargo train station over here. We'll just slot that in, say, I think here. It might adjust our coastline a little bit, and we may end up having to get rid of some of these rocks. Although, I think we're okay on this front. I'd like to take this underground at some point. Apparently this is sloped too steep. Interesting. I'd like to bring it out over... this way. There we go. And then this could connect up over here, hypothetically. And connect in something kind of like this. There we go. I'm not sure if this is actually connected here, but something along those lines. And then as far as moving in here, that's going to be interesting for sure. Okay, so let's just think about what we can do here. Move it in like that. And then have this start underground and connect in like that. That would work, theoretically. Now, I don't want to rely on this tunnel if we can help it. Well, maybe it's okay. Have it split off kind of like this. Sure. Now I'm hoping that the connection up over here is actually functional. I am going to take this section out and rework it to be a little straighter, like that. And hope that that actually works. Was that one way? Yes, that was. And I don't actually want that to be one way. That can be bidirectional. There we go. And this being one way is fine. Okay, now it's going to take time for this to actually take effect before we can see if this is actually working. It may or may not work. But I definitely want to relieve stress here. And I want to make sure that we have traffic lights here. And we don't need one here, of course. Okay. So like I said, it'll take some time for this to start being utilized via our pathfinders, especially with the trains, since we've got some issues over here right now. Now, there is already a way to make your way up over this way, right? That's the exit. The only way to make your way up is through this station currently, right? Or via this. And I think that I want to add to our mess here a little bit by doing... how do I want to do this? Or more specifically, where do I want to do this? I want a way to connect in people going this way with this down here. I mean, the simple way would just be to be doing a one-way like that, right? And I mean, I guess that would work, but it's disgusting. I mean, everything about this is disgusting, so maybe that's okay too. But just permanently spawn... Oh, we're not permanently spawning the trains here anymore. That's great. That means that this is getting under control. That is fantastic. That is really, really good. Means that these trains down here should now be starting to move in a moment anyway. So let's see when they decide to do that. Yeah, we are moving, but we're taking this as priority right now. That's okay. That's going to be done very, very shortly. Now that train goes... Yeah, we're beginning to actually move now. So that's good. This is not a clean solution here, but it looks like this is getting utilized now, at least to some degree. That's great. And with the traffic jam here being finished, that is going to be a big, big boon for us. I'm hoping that we see some utilization up here soon. Hello. Bit of a fire there. I'm sure it'll be under control. I'm hoping that we see some utilization here soon. Yeah, there's our fire helicopters working on it. But we'll see when that ends up happening. It's going to be some time before this is cleared and our trains can actually start going up this way. But the additional 2 stations should help. And just getting this station actually ticking away is a big, big deal for us. I do wish that it was utilizing both train lines here at once, but I mean, I guess we go back over here, so it makes sense. Maybe we should have this section here actually be bidirectional. And now that I think about it, yeah, I think that is useful to us here. So from here, this goes bidirectional like this. I think that should increase our train throughput up here. In theory. Let's see if it does. And yeah, I'm not surprised that this is happening right now. At all. That should clean up once we get our train issue cleaned up. And yeah, you can see here they're coming in twice at a time now. That doubles our throughput over here. Fantastic. We should probably think about doing the same over here. So we will not do roads, but rather trains, and we'll upgrade this all the way up here to bidirectional. And this over here as well. Apparently that space already occupied. We'll look at that in a moment. Okay. This is slope too steep. Okay. So we'll take those out of there, and we'll just rebuild this. No problem. And as far as this goes, this is space already occupied here, and we're going to need to go up to surface level to deal with that. And we'll see about connecting this in. There we go. No problem. Fantastic. Okay, so we seem to have this reasonably under control. This should clean up as our trains finish their backlog, in theory. And we can see here that we're making good progress on our backlog, actually. So that's wonderful. Very, very good progress indeed. Let's check up here, see if we're seeing any usage here. Yes, we are. Phenomenal. So this is a train that didn't have to come to this station. That's very, very good. Okay, we still have a bit of a backlog going on up here. How big is this backlog? Fairly large. They could be coming up this way and going the other direction, but they aren't. But I guess that's okay. This backlog is not as large as it could have been. This definitely seems to be much better under control. Fantastic. And outgoing trains spawn on this rail, so this seems to be fine. We can do incoming and outgoing trains. This is not seeing a ton of utilization, but it will see more utilization as time goes on. Excellent! So there's that fixed. It is, however, time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and next episode we're going to keep an eye on this, make sure that this is actually fixed, but I believe that it indeed is. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.